Hey, and what is going on, everybody? Zero here, back with some more Diablo action, and today we are talking about the Grin Reaper build. Again, I know, but you know, things are a little different now with 2.1.1 now. So I thought I would go over it again because I think the Grin Reaper build is much more powerful than it used to be. The Spider Queen got a big buff, and let's go over it. Alright, so we'll get into the gear first. Obviously, you're going to need the Grin Reaper Legendary Voodoo Mask with its special affix, chance to summon a horrific mimic when attacking. I'm running it with Invite and Armor. You can put crit chance on there if you're low on crit hit chance, but I'm already sitting at 50%, so that's more than enough, I think. So mine's a pretty tanky helm. Okay, that is the heart and soul of the build. Whenever you attack, you're going to be summoning these mimics, and they're going to be able to cast some of the spells that are on your hotbar, and that's where a lot of our damage is going to be coming from. Okay, we're running a 3-piece all killed, straight up 3-piece. Shoulders, chest, and bracers. We're running poison damage on the bracers, well, invite, crit hit chance, you know, the standard stuff. Zombie dog damage on the chest piece, and zombie dog damage on the shoulders. We're running a Tasker and Theo, obviously, which is, you know, the best in slot gloves, pretty much. Trifecta, obviously, if you can get it. Running that, and we are running the Tall Man's Finger for the giant dog, and inside it we are running the Gem of Infectious Toxin. Poison all enemies hit for 3,250% weapon damage at rank 25. Over 10 seconds, and the secondary at rank 25 is all enemies you poison take 10% increased damage. So all the damage we're doing in this build is poison, so it's just going to be a pretty much all the time 10% damage increase, so that's cool. On the other ring, we're running the Unity. Probably a better choice here would be a SOJ with poison damage. That would really increase the effective DPS a lot. But I really didn't feel like re-rolling my SOJ again, so I'm going with the Unity. It's got a little bit of an increased elite damage on there, and it gives some great damage mitigation if you have the enchanting favor for your Templar and a Unity on him as well. Okay, that'll keep you alive a lot more. And we are running the Swampland Waiters for the extra poison damage, obviously. Invite. We're running 2 pieces of Blackthorns, and that's basically just for increased damage against elites and the extra vitality. We do not really need in this build the reduction, because as I said, it's pretty tanky. We're sitting at almost 800k HP, so it's quite nice. And as I said, with the Unity damage mitigation coupled with this, the Eucoprian Serpent, our giant dog's going to be taking another 28% of our damage, so very tanky build. Okay, invite, crit hit chance if you can get it on there, and zombie dog damage. And lastly, I'm running with a Renholt Flare. Obviously get the best roll on here that you can get. It goes without saying. Invite, attack speed, throw an emerald in there. That's going to bump your damage way up. Okay. And lastly, in our, actually I forgot to talk about the gem here, Bane of the Powerful, obviously my favorite gem in the game. I think it's best in slot gem. No reason not to run it. Countess Julia's Camo is the Ami we're running with, guys. Intelligence, attack speed, crit hit chance. I'm a little low on the crit hit damage on this build, to be honest. I usually run a lot higher than this. But it is what it is. The build still works fabulously. We got the Enforcer gem in there for the increased pet damage on the giant dog. Keep in mind, guys, that this build isn't going to take over for, like, you're not going to be running like rank 40 greater rifts or anything with this, but it's a good build, especially for people that don't have their hands on a Mask of Jerem yet. And if you don't have a Tasker and Theo, you know, you just get a good trifecta pair of gloves in there, and this build will function phenomenally. As well, if you don't have yourself a Renholt Flare yet, just put in the best weapon you got. You know, you need a hard-hitting weapon. Okay, let's talk about the Paragon points. It's pretty standard stuff when it comes to Paragon points for most builds, until you get into like the Jades build, where you don't need any attack speed. So for the most part, it's pretty standard across the board for Witch Doctor, I find. You know, you want to get your movement speed up, intelligence, Obviously, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, attack speed, armor always first in the defense section, resist all, and then life on hit, area damage. And in this build, we really don't need the resource cost reduction because we're not going to be casting anything anyway. So I just went with some more gold find. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. So let's talk about the skills. So you're running with the Renho. You're gonna run Plague of Toads, Adling Toads. If you don't have it, you're probably gonna run Plague of Toads with Rain of Toads. Okay, we need Tornado, we need Spider Queen, and we need Acid Cloud Blob Bomb. Okay, the reason that we want to run these is for the mimics. The mimics are going to be casting these. We're not going to cast Tornado. You can cast it, but you really don't need to. So when you have enough mana to cast it, let her rip. It's not a big deal. But really, your mimics are going to come out, and they're going to pop Tornado like crazy. They're going to pop Spider Queen like crazy, and they're going to pop Acid Cloud like crazy. And what's important is that they don't have a cap on Spider Queen or Acid Cloud. And normally you wouldn't have a cap on Acid Cloud either, but you do have a cap on how many Blob bombs come out. The mimics do not. So these little bombies are going to be all over the place. Spider Queens are going to be all over the place, right? And since you're doing poison damage, it's going to proc the Gem of Infectious Toxin. You're going to be doing way more damage, and all the enemies hit are going to be poison enemy because of the gem. So like everything's going to be taking 10% more damage. And once you kill an elite, you're going to have another 20% more damage against everything, right? And whenever Tornado is going off, you're going to get another 15% more damage. So it's constantly stacking extra damage against all enemies, right? So this is why we run Spider Queen, and this is why we run Acid Cloud. An alternative would be to run a Hoe Drap and a different pair of boots and actually have Locust Swarm with Pestilence. And what that'll do is you'll use that to slow down all the enemies, and the mimics cannot cast Locust Swarm, so that will really force them into using Corpse Spiders and Tornado even more because they won't have a third option. But at this state in the game, I think this is the best setup, and I think most people would agree with that statement. Okay, we're running Summon Zombie Dog with Rabid Dogs, Spear Walk with Jaunt, of course. You can use any rune you want on there. We're going to use Fetish Sycophants, just because obviously the fetishes are always great to have. They just do a ton of damage, and they're little meat shields, and there's no reason not to run them. Pierce the Veil for a straight up damage increase, and then Midnight Feast and Zombie Handler to increase the damage of our dog. Alright, so we're going to go to my favorite place here to display builds. Like I said before, guys, keep in mind that this isn't gonna plow through like high-end greater rifts, but for people without Masks of Jerem and without Tasker and Theos, like, this is a good build. It's a very good build, and pretty much the only thing you're gonna cast is your giant dog, right? And the mimics are gonna do the rest of the work for you. And we don't have Slam Dance either, right? So there's no way for us to buff our damage anymore. But watch the elites. They go down very, very quickly, in my opinion. Spider Queens are all over the freaking place. Look at them. And then the blobs come out, and poison damage is being dealt to everything, and they're all taking more damage, and it's a good build. Kills trash very quickly. Like I said before, see there, I just dropped my Tornado. There's no reason you can't drop your Tornado as long as you have the mana to do it. But realistically, the mimics are gonna be casting so much Tornado that you don't really need to. You see what I mean about, especially now that we have Bane of the Powerful procced from killing the elites, the damage is just overwhelming.
Not ready yet.
I shouldn't really say that you can't do higher end rifts. I just don't think you should. You can. I haven't tested it myself, but I just don't see it being a viable build. So that's the reason. Ooh, Lego. Lego? I would have preferred the treasure realm, but I have a feeling, sneaking suspicion that that's been highly nerfed, that it's very unlikely for it to show up anymore. It's almost like Blizzard doesn't want us to see their new content. Alright, here we go. We get into the boss. So normally with my pet build we have Slam Dance, and obviously that just beats the hell out of all your pets, and bosses go down ridiculously fast. So we'll see how well this performs against this boss. Usually he goes down ridiculously fast. Won't be as fast, but see, you can see that it's still very quick. There's, you know, nothing to worry about here. Boom, done. Okay, guys, so that's it. Let's see what we got here. We got anything good? Litany of the Undaunted. I have actually been looking for one of these. Now I just need a Wailing Host. Gold Find build, baby. Okay, guys, so that's the build. I know I'm a little quieter in this video than normal, but it's late at night and everybody's sleeping. I hope you enjoyed it. Check it out. The Grin Reaper build is definitely much stronger now than it used to be. Definitely much stronger. It's definitely a good build for doing rifts. You can clear rifts very quickly with it. Go check it out. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Look forward to more videos, guys. Later.